What is one thing that became more clear as you got older? Your perception of the value of time changes as you get older. Why my dad always came home tired and pissed. Don't mix money and friends. Not everyone is going to like you. Friendship is a two-way street. Cut out toxic people or people who aren't making the same effort as you to keep the friendship going. Save money. You don't need half the dollar store. That I love my family but I'm not the best at showing it. You don't have to let your friends talk over you and make you feel guilty for something they did wrong. Don't let them project their own insecurities on you. Removed. $5,000 is not a lot of money to have, but so much money to owe. Some of the most corny sounding garbage is true. People don't care about you as much as you think they do, as in, you may think everyone is watching you and will notice if you do something embarrassing, but they are either thinking the same thing about themselves or simply don't give a crap. For the most part, people are too worried about themselves to worry too much about anyone else, so live your life. That people you love and people you hate all at some point will disappoint you. Life isn't black and white, but I've learned it's easy to roll with it and forgive them and keep going than it is to hold on to grudges. You don't have to have them in your life anymore, but once I realized people did these things because of their own inabilities and shortcomings and not because of me, it feels very liberating. Daily exercise, even walking, is so important to your health and longevity. Getting mad while driving isn't worth it. I keep getting older but I've been done growing up for about 10 years now. I am 36 but still feel like 26. You have to keep your body in shape though. I have a theory of why old people can be so grumpy or angry. They feel young in their minds but their bodies are falling apart. I'd be pissed too. My skin, thank goodness. Sometimes people just don't like you or want to be your friend, and you have to be okay with that. There's nothing you can do to make someone like you. Plus, actually, in those cases it can be better. It's better to find someone else who does like you for who you are than to waste your time in hopes of them pretending to tolerate you. That you can do everything right and still fail. That your days are truly numbered. If you want to have friends, you need to be one. Toilet time is precious time. That cutting out toxic people from your life is hard but necessary. Why taking good care of your teeth is important. That you should be responsible for your actions. Spending time with family and friends is important. Alcohol is not the answer. 9 months sober. Pick your fights. You don't need to engage in an argument every time you disagree on something. That having some or even just one close friend is better than having multiple friends who treat you as their backup if nobody else is available. Should have listened to my parents. People suck, individuals are awesome. That being happy is about doing what I want to do rather than what I'm expected to do. No more night clubbing for me. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram are detrimental to your mental health. Your parents aren't perfect. Darn, everyone online is fluffing insane. It seems really obvious now, but the idea that you're the only person capable of getting yourself out of the rut you're in, nothing will change until you actually start wanting better for yourself. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend, but for those who do genuinely smile at you, cherish them and never let them go. That there's no magic code for becoming cool and likable, no right clothes, hairstyle, or attitude. When you're comfortable with yourself, others will gravitate to you. Unfortunately, being comfortable and loving yourself can take some people a lifetime to develop. Adults are making it up as they go along. Almost nothing in this world is as black and white as you think it is when you are young. When we are young we tend to view things in a very binary sense, but even the simplest things in life are incredibly complex when you start digging. I am mentally not okay. That actions speak louder than words. I've always told my children to pay attention to someone's actions, not their words. People will tell you they love you but their actions say different. People are people, whether they be of a different sexuality, sex, nation, height, background, etc. We're all much more similar than you may think. It becomes more and more important to cherry-pick the people you want to voluntarily spend time with. Nobody cares about you, or the garbage you do, have, the part in your hair, the crease in your pants, the watch on your wrist, the car you drive, etc. all don't mean garbage to 99.9% of other adults. Nobody is watching you, nobody gives a garbage because you aren't important. If you mess your relationship with your parents it's gonna mess with your peace of mind deep down. Having said that, always prioritize your mental health. It's tricky. There is no free lunch, everything gets paid for eventually. Life is pain. The circle of people that truly care about you gets smaller. That's okay, 4 quarters are better than 100 pennies. Don't look for a relationship if you don't know what it is you want, and don't settle for anything less. People be crazy, especially mother-in-laws. That you shouldn't treat people like they're disposable, they have feelings and baggage that we don't know about. Treat everyone with respect until they prove otherwise. You can't really trust that many people. Know when to walk away from toxic relationships, from bad friendships, from garbage tea jobs. Cut your losses. That I still have so much to learn. That I am really needing to get better at social skills. You don't need to work extra hard to make up for your boss's fluff-ups, even if he tells you you have to. Just make sure you document everything and explain it to his boss. From years of therapy, some positive and negative life experiences, and a lot of growing up, whatever that means, per what others have said above, you're responsible for your own happiness. It's one of those things that seems self-evident, but that requires experience to truly understand. You learn that you have to be willing to accept yourself, your desires, and so on, which necessitates being honest with yourself in ways that honestly can be destabilizing. Other things I've learned: wisdom is far more valuable than intelligence and education to living an authentic life. People are, at their cores, more or less identical. We all have the same underlying drives, the same basic needs, the same primordial fears, you name it. This is really comforting knowledge. Existence has no intrinsic meaning, and in the abstract it can be a real drag. So while it might seem selfish, living a life meaningful to you is really all that matters. Most of this is summed up in a line from Joan Didion's commencement address at Berkeley: "I'm not telling you to make the world better, because I don't think that progress is necessarily part of the package. I'm just telling you to live in it. Not just to endure it, not just to suffer it, not just to pass through it, but to live in it. My urine because I learned to hydrate. Money can't buy happiness, but it can rent it for a while. Toxic friendships are horrible. There is no such thing as normal. Everybody has their own idea of how you should be, and if you try to conform to all of them, you'll just go in circles. You have to take the risk of being yourself. Maybe people won't accept the real you, but they sure as hell will never accept the fake version." Deleted. All adults are little children inside pretending to be adults. Everyone's inspiration to act as an adult is drawn through movies, books, life experiences, and simply observing other adults. That asking for a bunch of things from the store you won't actually use wastes money. That my interests and hobbies can change. It doesn't mean I'm losing myself or I'm just a poser. Life is about exploring and experiencing new things. Go live. Also, how much I love naps. That you can't just ask random people for mayonnaise whenever you feel like it. Bullies really aren't going to matter to you later in life. They're probably more miserable than you. Don't date someone just because she is fun to be around. Memories are gold. They'll be your exceptional friends as you age, so birthday celebration responsibly. Perform a little loopy things that don't put your life or that of others at threat. Move for camping and picnics. Fall in love. Examine love novels. Dance in the rain. Live, no, like significantly, live. Love less than equals greater than money. Just being smart is not going to do everything for you. A lot of the time it's who you know, not what you know. I'll always be frustrated being me, and unhappy. No one, not any professional, not any adult has any idea what they are doing. They have nothing figured out. Everyone out there is just winging it, doing the best they can. That I need to save money. Being popular don't mean jackgarbage outside of high school. When it comes to dating, it's not about looks, it's about finding someone that's right for you. Looks fade, a good heart and true feelings don't. Spending quality time with your family is important. This cannot be underestimated. Turn off your cell phone, your computer, your TV and go take a walk, read a book and/or talk to a friend. My 2 cents. People do not own each other, and they should never feel obligated to stay in any relationship that they are growing bored or tired of. Never-ending cycle of parenting wisdom. My father talked to me all the time, explaining things, giving me advices, and rarely I had real situations I could apply that wisdom to, or I would just do things my way, as all them kids do. So I lived on carrying the baggage, and life kept throwing stuff at me, and I was like, so that's what you were talking about 15 years ago, Dad. Now I get it. I got 2 sons now, and I'm looking forward to share all the wisdom I have with them, to see them ignore or not understand it at the time, and being proud of them when they get it right years later. Most people only value wisdom based on how much they pay for it. You could tell someone the most valuable piece of info they will ever hear, but if you give it to them for free they will ignore it. Meanwhile, you charge folks $500 to attend a seminar that says the same thing. People hold you up on a pedestal like you're a messiah. Distance is the biggest test for friendships. After a breakup, that's it. It's done. No matter how much you loved each other or whatever kind of life you had prior, they don't owe you anything anymore. Even if they cheated on you and left you with an immeasurable amount of pain, it's now solely on you to come out of it. And you can. You absolutely can. Also, 9 times out of 10, they will come back, because it's always easier to re-add people to your life than to find new ones.